Hi guys, Midwest Outdoorsman here with another quick review. This time I'm going to talk about the Bravo 1.5 from Bark River. I previously reviewed the Bravo 1, which is a great knife, and it's about a 4-inch blade, 4.5-inch blade, and it's a great knife for hunting and that kind of stuff. But really, for the thickness that blade was, I was thinking that a bigger knife would really make as an all-around knife a better knife, and I think that it does. I think I struck a nice balance here, so I wanted to show you this Bravo 1.5. I think it's just a perfect blend for an all-around knife. First of all, it comes with this sheath, so if you guys like traditional sheaths, you're going to love this. It's good quality leather. It has a fire steel loop here, so you can put a fire steel so you can have fire with your knife and your fire steel. Basic, absolute minimum kit. I like the leather and everything. I would prefer Kydex. They don't make a Kydex sheath as of yet for it. You can probably get one at like Blade Rigs or something like that made for you. Maybe I'm going to look into that. I prefer usually just a straight up Kydex sheath like the Cold Steel Master Hunter or something like that has. I think they're more utilitarian. They don't hold water, and they don't make your blades rust if they get wet. But anyways, got a snap here, and take the knife out. Take a look at it. And this is the awesome looking Tiger Stripe G10 orange and black handle. cpm-3v tool steel, super tool steel. Jimping and then flat spine. Lovely handles on these knives. I really like them. Lanyard hole, smooth on the back. You can get these Bark Rivers with different. You can get them with the ramp, with the jimping on it, or you can get them flat with no jimping. You can also get them instead of lanyard hole here. You can have the knife protruding out the back of the knife, with there's metal right here. So you can use it for hammering or something like that if you want. For me, I prefer just the clean looks of this, and that's just my preference. But you got your 2 pins here. Fit and finish is awesome. It should be on a knife like this. It costs about $260, so prepare to shell out. But they're nice. I mean, they're really nice. This is probably my favorite all-around knife when you consider survival as being a good part of the role of the knife. For just hunting, I tend to like handles that are grippier, like the Cold Steel Master Hunter. That's probably my favorite hunting knife. But when you're talking about an all-around knife for doing survival and that kind of stuff as well, this is a great knife because you don't get hot spots if you're using it quite a bit without a gloved hand on, because this is all nice and smooth here. So you don't get hot spots and blisters and stuff from using quite a bit. And the jimping on here, it's not super long, but it's functional. It's just sharp enough to grab your thumb. I would recommend using a gloved hand if you're going to do survival stuff anyways. Just protect your hands. But some specs on the knife is overall length of 11 inches. Blade length is 5.8 inches. Like I said, the steel is cpm-3v super tool steel. This is a really, really tough steel. Slightly corrosion resistant, but it isn't a stainless. They call it a semi-stainless. The steel thickness is 0.217 inches or 5.5 millimeters. So that's a really thick, hefty blade. I mean, that's a chunk of steel. Pretty heavy at 9.8 ounces, but can do a lot of work. It's a convex grind, so it's not a V grind. You got one constant convex edge on it. And that 3V steel a little harder to sharpen, some people say, than like your A2, which is true, but it holds an edge a lot longer. It's really a good quality steel. Like I said, it's semi-stainless, and it works well. It takes a beating, I'll tell you that, especially if you're talking about survival. I would definitely go with the cpm-3v steel over like an A2. If you're talking you just want it more for hunting, the A2 might work a little better for you. It's not as stainless, but you can get a really shaving hair sharp edge easily on it, and this you can get that too. It takes a little bit longer, but they both are great steels. Rockwell hardness 58 to 59 RC. Just a great all-around knife. For someone that's considering one knife for everything, they don't have all kinds of money to get a bunch of stuff, but they want to get something that's really good quality, and they want one knife to do it all. This, when you're talking survival and hunting and general camp use, the works. This is probably my choice for the best all-around knife you can get. There's some other good ones too, like the Knives of Alaska, Magnum Alaskan, but that's not nearly as thick as this. They also have the Knives of Alaska has a camp knife, which is like a 6-inch blade, but they can't compare to this knife to me in terms of being its sheer utility for doing everything well. This knife, it's not big enough to skin a whitetail, to gut a whitetail, an antelope, that kind of thing, but it's not small enough to where it's too small to chop with. That's kind of one problem I have with the Bark River Bravo, just the regular Bravo one. It's a great knife, but for the blade thickness that it is, it's really durable and everything, and you can use it as a survival knife, but I want a little bit more blade if I'm going to be pushing it into that role. So that's why I think this is a perfect, blend of blade thickness, length of blade. I have really big hands, and the handle fits me perfectly. They have awesome handles on these Bravo 1 knives, Bravo 1.5s. You got a lot of real estate, so if you're not going to have to be like you are with a fall knife in where you're going to be slipping off the back or something, you got plenty of real estate to hang on to. And they have tons of options. You got canvas micartas and ironwoods and stag and curly maple and G10, all kinds of G10. I love G10 myself. I love the colorations, and I just like G10. It's my preference. But I think this is probably my favorite knife as far as, like I said, if you want one knife to be a survival knife, a camp knife, a hunting knife, a do-everything knife that's going to last you forever. You can hand it down to your kids can hand it down to your grandchildren. It's a really good steel that's very, very, very thick, very durable. You can split wood with this if you need to. It's going to last and last. It takes a really good razor edge. It's really tough with the cpm-3v. It also does come in A2 and cpm-S35V and stainless steel if you want that. So you do have options there, and like I said, you have different choices in handle material and handle styles as well. This is just what I prefer. But I think it's just a great option for an all-around knife. Probably my favorite out of all the knives that I have. If you've seen my videos, I have some, not a ton, but I have, quite a few other good quality knives, and this is probably, like I said, the best one for everything. And I have this Paco Laplander here because with this team, you're really set. And now if you look at the weight of like an Ontario SP8, which I reviewed, or a Trailmaster, those are quite a bit heavier. So for the weight of just one of those, you can get a saw and a knife. Where this isn't going to be as good as splitting, as a Trailmaster or an SP8, obviously, because it's not a 10-inch blade, and it's just not that kind of a thing. But it'll do it, and it'll split enough wood for you for a fire and stuff, and it's plenty thick enough to take a beating. And then you team it up with this Paco Laplander saw here, and so you can use your saw to cut your firewood, and then you can use this to split it and baton the wood, and I think that's just a great combination, and then you got this leather sheath so you can carry your fire steel. So with that little combination right there, you should be set. There's a million different combinations. I use different ones all the time. Like I said, if I'm just hunting and I'm not in a place where I want to be there for extended periods of time, or I think that 90% of the time my knife is going to be used for nothing more than hunting, I will almost always go with a grippy handled knife like the Cold Steel Master Hunter. I'll grab that here for you quick, just so you can get a size comparison. And that's right there. That's the Cold Steel Master Hunter. So just different types of knives. Give you a difference of the blade thickness right there. But like I said, if you're a guy who wants one premium, good quality knife to do everything you could want a knife to do for hunting, camp, outdoor, the whole thing, this Bravo 1.5 I think is just a great choice. I think the Bravo 1 is a little bit short for all your survival tasks. It'll do them, but I think when you're pressing that knife into that roll, that this really excels with that extra blade. They do make a Bravo 2. They make bigger ones. They make all machete type knives, but I think this strikes the right balance of blade thickness, weight, handle size, overall length, the whole works. But if I was only going hunting, This right here, this Cold Steel Master Hunter is my top choice because I said it's got that grippy rubberized texture handle. So when you're talking blood and fat from an animal, that kind of thing, I think it comes in handy and it really works. Or if you have smaller hands, something like this Cold Steel Pendleton Hunter, which is not a flat grind or a V grind, it's a hollow grind. So the blade's not made to be really beat up like a thicker blade is. It's more for skinning and stuff. So you could, if you have smaller hands, you could go with this and this if you wanted two knives, one more for a specialized hunting knife, one more for like a survival knife, camp knife. But like I said, you can get by with this one, as one knife. But it all depends on what you want and how much money you have. Everyone likes something different and has different finances, so you have to choose that on your own. But like I said, the cost, you're going to pay for this. It's a premium knife, $260-ish, depending on what handle material you'll get and stuff and where you buy it from. Whereas your Cold Steel Master Hunter is about $98 on Amazon, and the Cold Steel Pendleton Hunter is about 60-ish, 50-ish on Amazon. And there's really not much more to say than that. I think it's just a great choice for an all-around knife. Probably my top choice for all-around when you're going to press it into a survival role as well. If you're not only thinking about hunting, and if I'm only going to be doing hunting 89% of the time, I would go with a grippy roll handle knife like these Cold Steels, or maybe a Knives of Alaska or something along those lines. But anyways, hopefully this review kind of helped someone if they're kind of thinking about getting only one knife or maybe a pair to do something. Or about a system like a knife and a saw between this and a Sawviver or whatever. So just something to think about, and I love watching people's videos as well as making them, just seeing different people's point of view and what they have to say, because sometimes they think of something that you maybe never thought of before you make a purchase. So hopefully this was helpful, and if you have anything you want to say, or maybe things I forgot or whatever, or you have some other cool recommendations, go ahead and chime in the comments and just be respectful of me and the other people, and I'll do the same to you. And hopefully this review was helpful. Thanks for watching, guys.